What's up, Scott Nation? It's your teacher speaking. We're recording today your lecture about how to do the fourth paragraph of your essay. Okay, you guys are all paying attention, right? All right, this is like watching YouTube, isn't it? You know, YouTube. Don't kids like YouTube? We're looking at this paragraph today, which says, compare the reactions of both characters. Show us how the characters are different from one another, and show us how they are the same. Okay? This is going to be kind of an interesting paragraph to write. You don't need quotes from the book in this paragraph, but you do need good analysis and interpretation of your own. You need to figure out why the characters in the book acted the way they did. Okay? For those of you comparing Ellie and his dad, you need to figure out why Ellie reacts one way and why his dad reacts another. For example, why did Ellie's dad lose hope before Ellie did? What about his upbringing, his personality, made him lose hope before Ellie did? Or if you're comparing Mrs. Schachter and Juliet, why did Mrs. Schachter decide to die sort of struggling and going crazy while Juliet decided to go out triumphantly by playing his violin? Thank you. You need to get into the characters' psychology and what makes them different in order to analyze those things. So in order to do that, we've provided you with a handy-dandy Venn diagram, okay? A Venn diagram is how you compare similarities and differences in characters. And I'm going to show you how to fill that out, because there is a way to make Venn diagrams a lot more useful and a lot easier for you. Okay? So we're going to be comparing two different characters. Okay, let's do Ellie and his dad, all right, which is the characters most of you decided to write about, okay? So on one end of it, I'm going to write Ellie, and in another one, I'm going to write Ellie's dad. By the way, do we know Ellie's dad's name? Probably. Jane, what is it? Yeah, it's Shlomo. Shlomo. Is that good, Jane? Okay, here's the trick for making a graphic organizer work when using a Venn diagram. Here's the trick. The easiest way to compare things is to write both sides of the same thing on the same row of the Venn diagram. Mostly we just fill these things out willy-nilly. Oh, Ellie's a boy. His dad's a boy. That goes in here, right? Ellie is 12. His dad is a store owner. And you just put it everywhere. But Venn diagrams work best if you have the same thing across from each other. For example, watch this. How old is Ellie? Ellie is 14 years old. His dad is not 14 years old. His dad is older. He's middle-aged, we'll say. Okay? Oh, he is. Yeah, he's 52, isn't he? Okay, so Ellie's 15, and his dad is 52, okay? Now, that's fine, and that may account for some of the reason why his dad loses hope quicker, but we need to get down to the psychology of it. What do we really know about Ellie and his father psychologically? We want to dig deep on this. What do we know about them? What differences did they have in the novel? Was there ever a point where they disagreed about something? Let's think about Ellie's upbringing. Was there a time where he maybe wanted to study something and his father kind of stood in the way of that? Do you remember that? Yeah, he wanted to study mysticism. And his dad won't let him study mysticism. Which means what? Let's go a step deeper. What does that say about their psychology, that Ellie wants to study it and his dad doesn't want to? Ellie is open to new things. His father may be more traditional, right? See how I used physical and sort of surface level differences to boil down to their psychology, which is really why they made the decision? Could I make a case in my essay that Ellie was able to keep hope longer because Ellie is more open to new things, new experiences? I can make that case. Let's do another one. Let's do the French woman and who else? Juliet. Great. French woman and Juliet. What do we know about the French woman? She's French. Wow. So good. Who said that? Was that you? Wow. She's French. Remember, we want this to match up, so we're going to say for Juliet, he's not French. Oh, Juliet, I gotcha. Okay, but let's get deeper into it. The French woman, what is her background like? We know that she's on a cruise, that she's throwing money away. What is she? She's upper class. What do we know about Juliet? Do we know that? We know he's poor now, yeah. He's definitely experienced some things, right? He learned violin, so maybe he was middle class, or he could have been lower class. But the difference between them is actually that she hasn't faced tons of trials. Juliet has had to fight for his life. You can do this with similarities too. If both of your characters reacted similarly, what about them do they have in common that forced them to react? Well, Ellie and his father are both Jews, right? They have this belief in a higher power and an afterlife that guides their decisions. They're both very close to their family, right? Family is very important to them. Maybe less so for his father, right? But family is very important. You can do that with those two. Bottom line is you want to find some way to connect them and explain their decisions. Enjoy your lunch.